Today we profile William Bill Pulte, as humble a man as I've ever met in my life. He began selling greeting cards, fresh cherries, and the Saturday Evening Post door to door at age 8. He was a peddler. He built his first home at age 18. He gave his second home he ever built to his mom and dad. He raised 14 children. His company, Pulte Homes, have built nearly 1 million homes in America. The Pulte formula was simple: 4 bedrooms and a family room. It's the 3rd largest home builder in America. In 2005, it received the National Housing Quality Gold Award, which is patterned after the Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award, and was the first builder recognized as such. Bill Pulte believed every one of his employees' priorities should be God, family, and then the company. He believed that you lead people and you manage things. He believed that the saying, "if it's not broke, don't fix it," is bad advice. In 2005, Forbes named him as one of the 500 richest people in the world. On a number of occasions, I was flying back on a Sunday evening from Fort Myers, Florida, back to Detroit, either on Spirit or Delta Airlines. The plane was always packed. And there's a man sitting in the back with the loudest sweater you've ever seen in your life. That was Bill Pulte in the back, never first class. Nobody knew who the man was. His son Mark said, "Jack, Dad was bred to be frugal." And that's how he lived. We were both honored to be members of Bloomfield Hills Country Club. I played with him many times. The man would have 3 balls in his pocket. I'm sure Pulte Homes had thousands of Pro V1 Callaway brand new golf balls. I never saw the man with a Pulte Homes golf ball. The 3 balls would all have smiles in them, and one would be a Dunlop, one would be a Titleist, and one would be a Callaway. Balls that he found in the woods. We would bet. The most he ever bet was a quarter a hole. He might have made millions that day in the stock market, but we bet a quarter a hole. I asked him to come on the radio show 10 times. He always said, "Jack, no thanks." Then after one round of golf, he said, "Jack, be in my office tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Tell me what questions you would ask." And he came on. In 1990, Cardinal Midas, who was the Cardinal of the Archdiocese of Detroit, had an offer to sell the St. John Center in Plymouth. It had been an old seminary that was unused, with 200 plus acres of very valuable land. And the offer was to buy the whole thing, knock down all the buildings, and create many, many very valuable homes. Instead, Cardinal Midas went to Bill Pulte, Fran Sen, Bob Flatsik, 3 Catholic businessmen in town, and said, "What would you do with this unused resort?" And they said, "Cardinal, turn it into a family center, a resort." The rest is history. Later, Cardinal Midas went to Bill Pulte and said, "We have hundreds of weddings at this family center. And hotels in this area are getting rich because all these people are coming from all over the country to these weddings. I need a hotel on the property. Would you build me a hotel? $27 million later, St. John's Resort had a beautiful hotel. His son Mark tells the story of one day his dad called him and said, "Mark, would you come down to Naples? I have a meeting with a priest from Detroit who wants to ask for a favor, and I'd like you to sit in." So Mark goes to Naples. Dad greets him at the door. He says, "Mark, I've got to show you something." Takes him to the garage, and here is an 8-year-old car. And Dad says, "Mark, this is the car I just brought. It's 8 years old. I got it for a song. Look it. It's fabulous." Half an hour later, the priest shows up and says, "Bill, I want to build a school, a special school in Detroit." Bill says, "Well, Father, how much do you need?" "Bill, I'd like to ask you for $2 million in seed money. If I can get $2 million, I can go to other people. But I need $2 million as seed money." Bill Pulte says, "Father, once again, I ask you, how much do you need for the school?" "Bill, I need $22 million. Bill and his wife Karen wrote him a check that day for $22 million. An hour after he had bragged about this 8-year-old car that he had just bought. That was Bill Pulte. Bill Pulte came up with a prayer for world peace that's become quite famous. Dear God, thank you for all creation. In the spirit of Jesus of Nazareth and all teachers of peace who inspire the many faith traditions, help me and all the people of the world learn how to replace hate, war, oppression, and division with love, peace, forgiveness, freedom, and reconciliation. Help me to embody your love in my relationships with my family and friends, strangers, even my enemies. I commit myself to this sacred task throughout my life, so let it be." He wrote me his philosophy of life. Short and to the point. The measure of one's true success is their internal peace. William J. Pulte. Bill Pulte was the epitome of inner peace. It resonated throughout him each and every day. That's the story of William Bill Pulte. Thank you for watching. If you like these messages of inspiration, please like, subscribe, and/or share them with your friends. Until we meet again, please remember, with God, anything is possible.